Okay, this is the recording that I'm doing. Today's Thursday, and yes, this is a restart, and I know I've said this before, this is my final restart. I wanted the update from the latest patch that gave the freshman and Rod Hurd is in the game so yeah, this is the absolute final restart. So this episode is going to be the setup of the roster, first recruiting, and all of that. I truly, truly hope that you will come with me on this journey of Notre Dame football. Let's get to the depth chart first. We're going to start with the depth chart that Notre Dame has put out.
Filling in some dead air, letting you know that I'm going over the depth chart and trying to get the depth chart in line with how Notre Dame has it to start the season. If anybody that watches this has more football knowledge, let me know who you think the rush in should be, who the sub linebacker should be. I know Jack Kaiser is supposed to be on the field throughout the entire game. They're saying he's very rarely ever going to leave the field, but he does not have very good coverage stats. So let me know who you think that should be. Also, considering how well they rated Rod Hurd in the game, now that he's in the game, should I start him over Don Schuler, even though Schuler is set to start for Notre Dame in real life? I, for one, was very surprised that they're going with Faison over Mitchell. I figured Mitchell would be the number one receiver, having to be being that he was a big recruit coming in to help the receiving. And I gotta say, as a Notre Dame fan, and you will see it later in the video, this young offensive line scares
Now
me.
we'll go through and decide who gets redshirted. Go to the slot receiver next.
I honestly don't know what to do with Jack Kaiser since the team is saying he's not going to really lead the field, but I don't know what to do with him on passing down. Should I have him on the end ready to rush? Should I still have him as a sub linebacker, even though his coverage is not that good, but his awareness and acceleration and speed is some of the best in the linebacking core? Again, let me know what everybody thinks. Let me know what you know thoughts are. Feedback is definitely welcome.
Now the fun part, the offensive line.
The offensive line is going to be an overarching theme in this episode, as you're going to see. The game against Texas A&M is going to be an interesting one because, let's just say, if things, yeah,
Internet. Taj Baker.
I really do kind of fear for this offensive line in this game against Texas A&M. They have one of the best defensive lines in football, in college football, that is. Um, and when we get to the game, you will understand the concern. Trust me. And you will see it firsthand, the concern.
Left guard.
But then again, if you are a Notre Dame fan, you know that the offensive line is probably the biggest concern for this team this year.
Rocco Spindler.
I do believe that Craig can be a All-American at center for Notre Dame by the end of the year. So that'll be an interesting development, and it'll be nice to see what Wagner can do.
All right, Ashton Craig. Offensive line worries me, much like it worries many Notre Dame fans.
That being said, I will say I think this offensive line, where it will start the season and where it will end the season, will be very different. I think a lot of these young players will gel and develop throughout the year. I think Notre Dame's young offensive line could be one of their strengths by the middle of the season, towards the end of the season. At least that's my hope. Otherwise, Riley Leonard may be in for a very, very long year. Um, Because yeah, this offensive line scares me, and especially going against one of the best defensive fronts in all of college football to start the year.
Okay. Go to tight end.
I gotta say, I've used Notre Dame almost exclusively in College Football 25. You all know this. Evans reminds me a lot of Mark Andrews, and I'm saying that as a Ravens fan, as a guy who sees Andrews often. This guy is the ultimate safety blanket, just like Mark Andrews is. He's got all the tools. He's going to play on Sunday. He's going to play very well on Sunday. It would not surprise me to see him be one of the better tight ends in the NFL.
Okay. The Viper.
This is where the depth charts in these football video games upset me. I wish they'd have a hybrid of the real football terminology and the casual football terminology. I understand why the casual football terminology is there. It's for the casual fan. But, I also understand that there's strong side, weak side. Show me that in the game so, as a casual fan can learn the terminology instead of just right end, left end, because it makes it kind of hard to truly set up a depth chart the right way, in my opinion. But I can almost
Oh no, it is a left end. Okay.
also, if you're a Notre Dame fan and you're watching this, please let me know who you think the rush left end, the rush right end, and the sub linebackers should be. Who do you project them being? Who do you think they will be? And who do you think they should be? Even if you're not a Notre Dame fan, if you're somewhat familiar with the game and familiar with the roster, familiar with college football, your thoughts are definitely welcome because, like I said, I'm trying to figure out a way to keep Jack Kaiser on the field, but also have the best options out there for passing downs. Because I feel like I do get picked apart in the middle of the field quite a bit. I'm not saying it's Jack Kaiser's fault. I'm just saying maybe I don't have things set up as optimally as I should. Because, and correct me if I'm wrong, the right end should be lining up over the left tackle. The left end should be lining over the
See,
right
now
tackle.
this
Correct?
confuses me.
I was a little confused because, like I said, it was the strong side, weak side type thing. I wish it would just say strong side, weak side, not left and right end. Give me the football terminology as well as the, regular terminology.
The left end would line up for the right tackle and the
But I definitely wish the more modern football terminology was in there so that the casual fan could learn some more. Like I said, there's no reason you couldn't have a hybrid of both. You could have selected um, football terminology for more advanced fans. The casual, what you have, in my opinion, is what you have now
I
for
believe.
the everyday fan. Let me know what you think. Um, it would make it much easier, in my opinion, to set up the depth chart. Um, I'm a little surprised Batello over Josh, but everybody's saying Batello is going to finally break out this year. It'll be interesting to see if he does. I do think that Howard Cross and Riley Mills are the best 1-2 punch at defensive tackle in college football. I think either one of those guys could have left Notre Dame last year um, and been first round picks in the draft. It would not surprise me to see both of them go first round next year. Um, Hopefully they're able to stay healthy and contribute because let's face it,
Okay.
they came back for a championship. And I hope Notre Dame gets it because this will be 16 years without a national title for Notre Dame. They need to definitely end that streak. And like I said, the conundrum at linebacker. What do you do with Kaiser on passing downs? Do you put him as a down lineman and let him rush the passer? Do you leave him off the field completely? Do you put him as a sub linebacker? Same thing with Snead. Do you put him as a sub linebacker? Do you let him put his hand on the ground and go after the quarterback? Um, Let me know thoughts and comments in the comments below. Like I said, definitely open to feedback, especially when it comes to the depth chart. Also, when it comes to special teams, what do you guys think of the idea of using starting players in your regular offense or defense, for that matter, as kick returners? Um, I know how Notre Dame has it set up and projected to be, but is it a good idea to have your backup running back as your kick returner? You know, you're running the risk of injury.
Okay, he's not even on the roster.
Focused on trying to mimic what Notre Dame is going to be doing in real life. But I wanted to start out that way and let it grow from there. So even though, like, I have Schuler and I started Schuler in game one, that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to start every game, especially with the ratings that Rod Hurd got. He very well could end up as the starter. His play rec is miles ahead of Schuler. But then again, you have to figure if you give Schuler the playing time, he should definitely progress and be all the better next year for the experience this year. Again, comments, feedback is welcome.
Yeah, I don't know if I can get behind having that drastic of a difference in rating for a starting player.
You just heard me allude to it. Do you willingly take that big of a hit from a starter to a backup just because that is what the team is doing in real life? It was a tough decision. I'm going to ride with Schuler for at least a couple games, but I will not hesitate to make that change if need be. Definitely something I'm going to be looking at deeper and seeing what can happen. One aspect of this team that I really expect to be a lot better than last year is the receiving core. I think they're going to go 6 or 7 deep. I love Greathouse in the slot. I think he definitely leads the team in receptions and touchdowns, possibly even yardage. And I wouldn't be surprised, as you'll see at some point here in the depth chart, that to see him, returning some punts and possibly making some big plays back there.
Where's Faison? Faison.
And this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier. I have Faison as one of my starting wide receivers. So, is it worth the injury risk to have him returning punts as well? I know that's what the Notre Dame depth chart says. Again, perhaps I'm too focused on what the real life depth chart is and not focused on, giving my team and my dynasty the best chance to win. I think that's one of my fatal flaws in a great many sports games is I try to mimic too much what the real life team is doing and not letting the story develop as the season goes on. But then again, this is the starting point, and we will see how things develop from here. Again, I can't emphasize enough. Feedback is definitely welcome. Definitely appreciate it, especially when it comes to depth chart and roster choices. I'm definitely open to hearing what everybody thinks, what everybody feels. Where should I play a player here? Where should I play a player there? Let me know. As a power back, I like Price's ability here more as a power back than Love, and I love him as a receiving back as well. Although I think Love can probably catch balls out of the backfield just as well as Price. Um, I did set the depth chart wrong here, apparently. It was supposed to be RJ and Patello, not um, Josh. And Kaiser was supposed to be um, a sub linebacker, and he wasn't. So that messed up
Hmm.
for game one. But that will be fixed for week two. I assure you of that. So it'll be an interesting, and it was an interesting game one. I'll say that. This Notre Dame team, I think, could very easily go undefeated. I could see them with one loss. I could see them with two. I don't think, given the fact that they don't have a conference championship to win, I don't think Notre Dame gets into the playoff with two losses because of their schedule, because they don't have a conference championship that they can win. I think they can only afford one loss, and I could see that one loss coming on opening night, which is kind of scary because that basically means they have to be perfect the rest of the year, which is going to put a lot of pressure on this young team. So yeah, that was the sub linebackers were not set up correctly. That's on me. I think we get into recruiting once we're done the depth chart here. We'll talk some about that because I'm honestly not happy with the way I went about setting it up initially.
Reminds me, the nickel. Jordan Clark.
This is really random, but I still can't get over the fact that Jordan Clark is Ryan Clark's son. That makes me feel very old.
Hobbs. And Tucker. That was the depth. That's the depth chart.
I really think that Notre Dame has a solid shot of having the best secondary and defensive line in all of college football. The big question is, what can the linebackers do outside of Snead and Kaiser? Um, Otherwise, this could be the best defensive
I
unit.
believe this is the preseason top 25. Okay.
Not at all happy with how I started out with my recruiting here. To be honest, I think I focused too much on what Notre Dame was going after in real life as I looked up their actual.
Let's finish getting this set up.
As you see, Notre Dame was 8 heading into week one, which is what I believe they were in real life. That's why I said I'm pretty sure they updated in the latest update for the preseason top 25, but we will see.
Okay. Add prospect. Top prospect. Quarterback.
I think I focused too much on what Notre Dame would be trying to do in real life and not enough on building my dynasty. And I know that is something I need to improve on, developing my own stories, telling my own stories, which is one of the reasons I'm doing the voiceover here, is to fill in all the dead air and try to give you a little bit more story. I want to try to keep a strong secondary, strong offensive line. Those were my focuses.
Hmm.
As as I know, as I was doing this, I was looking at the actual Notre Dame recruiting class for the coming year to see, what they were looking at. And like I said, I think I probably got too focused on that. But I think the initial class turned out, or the initial group of recruits turned out okay. So in this game, if you start recruiting from a certain area quite a bit and get a number of recruits from that area, can your pipelines change? Can you develop pipelines as you go along? Um, can your can you lose value in a pipeline?
Okay.
Let me know in the comments below. I'd be interested to know if that's something that can change, or is it dynamic? Does it change?
Now let's go look at the cornerback. India. That
Like right here, I should have been more focused on team or players that were actually interested in coming to Notre Dame instead of fighting for those that weren't. Although you'll see later on here in the video that some of the players that weren't all that interested, after I threw some interest at them, as long as they had the open status, some of them did come around to Notre Dame. However, some of them did not, as you will see.
okay.
I think I ended up with like between 25 and
Tight
30
end
targets.
James Flanagan from wow.
In this first batch. And we do soon get into gameplay against Texas A&M, that obviously being game one. As you can see here, my main focus was 4-star and 3-star recruits, looking at the offensive line, the secondary. I did take a look at a couple quarterbacks, a couple wide receivers. I think here I was looking at a tight end, just trying to fill some team needs, build up the depth chart a little bit in certain areas, because I know certain players, leaving after the first year, more than likely. Like, unfortunately, I'm only going to have Benjamin Morrison for 1 year, but it was a decent recruiting class. I was trying to look at, specific states that I saw Notre Dame had recruited in real life. That's why I was asking, does anybody know, do you develop better pipelines if you recruit in a state that's not part of your current pipeline? Is that only, do the pipelines change if you only use a created coach? If you use a stock coach, do they not change at all? Like I said, anybody knows, feel free to shed some light. Would greatly appreciate. Like I said, for right, wrong, or indifferent, I was really focused on the actual Notre Dame recruiting class, looking for players in certain positions that they had already recruited, looking for players, around the same rank that they recruited, hence looking at 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars.
Noah Kakalaki.
Trying to look within the same states that they had gotten their recruits from, I wanted to, like I said, start out kind of where Notre Dame was at in real life and branch from there. So going forward, you will see a lot more me making stories of the players that we pick here. But this was really about setting things up to um, what's going on with the actual school today. Because I felt like that was, you know, important to start out.
Okay.
I was trying to also focus on the gold pipeline to make things a little easier, especially on those players that didn't have a high interest in Notre Dame to begin with. I wanted that to be a focus. Um, I do get, I don't do good with the initial recruiting setup. Through all my playthroughs, I never have, but I do get better as the season goes along because I understand how to position and when to use the different, hard sells, soft sells, sending the house. I know how to recruit. I'm just not the best initial recruiter, um, as I hope you all will see. Admittedly, I probably should have been more focused on, like I said, players that were interested in coming to Notre Dame, more focused on needs. Um, like I said, I was very focused on what Notre Dame had already had committed position wise. Um, I was even trying to match up states, which did not work. Um, surpri- Not surprisingly, the generated recruiting classes do not have, you know, there are some states that have no prospects whatsoever, which is a little surprising.
Hi.
But then again, I guess not every state is going to be a football hotbed. Like for example, one of the three-star Notre Dame recruits came from Connecticut. I didn't really find anybody all that interesting from Connecticut. Probably spent too much time on recruiting in this first part of this video. I don't think it'll be all this much recruiting. I wanted you for all to see the initial recruiting though. Um, Let me know what you think. Do you want to see more recruiting, more gameplay, hybrid of both? Because I'm not sure what to cut out, what to leave in when it comes to recruiting. So I guess I'm leaving it all in. I'm just trying to give you some voiceover to dub over the fact that I didn't really talk all that much while I was doing this. I know that is something I need to get better at in my videos. But it is nice to know that with this software, I can come back and talk over where I'm not talking. Fan of looking for any 2-star recruits or 1-star recruit at Notre Dame. That is not something that I would think that Notre Dame would do. I would think that Notre Dame would be a 3-star recruit or higher. When I looked at their recruiting class, I didn't see any 2-stars. I did see several 3. But these upper echelon programs like the Notre Dames, the Georgias, the Penn States, Alabamas, I really don't see them going for any 2-star recruits. It's going to be all 3, 4, and 5, in my opinion. That's what you're going to see out of me with Notre Dame is 3, 4, and 5-star recruits. And as you'll see throughout this, I'll probably get shut out of some of these because I took a shot on some guys that were not all that interested in Notre Dame to begin with. I wanted to see if I could get their interest by offering scholarships, by showing interest. For some of them it worked, some of them it did not. and I am willing to change the name of some of these recruits to match viewers. Um, I'm planning on putting some of my friends that are constantly in my streams and just some of my friends that are not, changing the names of some of these recruits to match um, those
I
people,
don't
those
think there are any players
personalities.
in Hawaii. Yeah.
Because matching those names, those personalities, will help me develop stories for those players. It's one of the things I'm very interested in doing. I already have a handful of people in mind for certain players that I have recruited, assuming they sign. Let's hope they do. Yeah, I spent way too much time on recruiting in this episode. Way too much time browsing this page because I didn't really go into this with a solid plan. I didn't really know what I was looking for, which is probably not a good thing. But I think in the end, I came out with a pretty good class.
Okay, let's see what we can do. What we have.
This is one thing I think needs to change about recruiting in this mode. I don't like the fact that you can only offer scholarships. You can't start pitching and different things right away. This is something I feel needs to change. It would be a good change.
Let's sort by interest.
As you can see, I went for a lot of guys that didn't have a lot of interest, so there was going to have to be a lot of points spent on a lot of guys. Always focus those points on your 5 stars, though. And don't be scared off if you get a player that is a bust, especially if they're a 4-star bust, because they're probably going to play more like a 3-star, and 3 stars can still play. So keep that in mind as you're recruiting. Just because a guy comes up as a bust doesn't necessarily mean that they're not going to be a good player for you.
Why is it so hard to find a cornerback?
By this point, I had honestly given up. I was looking for the future Benjamin Morrison, but I just
Yeah, bust too.
wasn't finding him. As you see, it seemed like everybody I came across, except this guy here, Talangelo. Talangelo, I hope I'm saying that correctly. Didn't have any interest. Offered him a scholarship. Threw some points at him, and wait till you see what happens. This is an example of what I was talking about earlier, where you can take a guy who maybe wasn't interested in your school to begin with and, make something out of nothing.
I mean, look at my team's needs.
And as you can see in my next couple shots here, I probably wasn't doing the best job addressing the team needs. I was looking more at players I wanted versus players I needed. Although I did have a lot of targets in a lot of different positions, still needed some more. Still need some more. So, all in all, it wasn't a bad thing. Could have been better.
Middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker was definitely something I had a hard time finding because it seemed like everybody
Okay.
I was interested in just wasn't.
Right guard. Need a right guard. Need a right guard.
offensive line, obviously. Can somebody confirm you can still change freshmen's positions in the offseason, correct? So just because I may scout more left guards, I can move them to right guard, correct? I believe that is how the position changes work, or can you not change the positions of freshmen? Somebody let me know in the comments below. In the end, I was really happy with this first batch of recruits. Um, some of them did end up, not panning out, as you'll see later on in the video. Some of them did, and that's supposed to be the point of recruiting. You're not supposed to get every single player you go after, otherwise it would be too easy. And recruiting is not supposed to be
And a middle linebacker.
too easy. Some would say that it already is too easy.
Don't really like the fact that both of them are bust. Okay. Let's move on. Okay, ahead. People up yet? Okay. Okay. You're getting all the attention.
Like I was saying before, make sure you're giving all your 5-stars and 4-star recruits plenty of attention. Get them in the fold as quick as possible. Build up that recruiting class so then your 3-stars will follow easily when they see what you're building.
A dog fight with Michigan? I don't think so. Alright. Almost done here.
Don't worry, you'll be getting some more recruiting on the back end. Just was trying to skip ahead to get into some gameplay. But I think, like I said, I think the first batch of recruiting went well. As you see, I'm skipping ahead to week 0. And there you see the status of the current recruits. A couple of them, like I said, did lock me out, which was fine. Didn't mind that all that much.
I like that we're first on a lot of boards.
But as I just said, we were first on a lot of boards.
It did. What did we? 0 goal. Georgia Tech.
Nice to see the virtual Yellow Jackets doing what they did in real life, which I did predict in real life. Make sure you check out my YouTube shorts. My college football
Okay.
predictions are in the form of YouTube shorts. I did successfully pick Georgia Tech. My week 1 picks came out yesterday, Wednesday, in short form. Getting rid of cleaning up the board here a little bit. I think we're going to be getting into gameplay soon.
Look at that. He wasn't even interested in me. And then I jumped to the top of the board.
And that right there is a perfect example of what you can do just by putting some time into a player that has an open stance, doesn't have a defined school they're looking for. Throw some interest, throw a scholarship at him, see what happens, because all of a sudden I'm at the top of the board for one of the best corners, I think the best corner in the class.
Let's keep it going. I like where I'm at. Play the A&M game.
Howdy. Welcome to College Station, Texas, home of the Texas A&M Aggies, and tonight the lights are
Really looking forward to this on Saturday.
This is one of the most impressive things to me about this game is the atmosphere and the way they make you feel like actually
It's going to be fun.
Dame is going to have. I do think that the biggest problem Notre Dame is going to have is going to be very evident in my game. You'll see it's going to be the offensive line. And you'll see that throughout my game, needless to say. But I love the atmosphere that this game projects. And always have to change this setting. I wish they would fix this to where I didn't have to change it.
Tell them to fix that.
Notre Dame looking for a strong kick to get this one underway.
And the kick was up.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. So Texas A&M's offense takes the field for the first time today. And here everyone believes
I am always very unsure what to do.
You're right, Dave. He's been in the big moments.
Still learning the ins and outs of
This
football.
guy delivers when the game is on the line.
Never sure what the best defenses are.
So guys, over the last few years, there have been sizable
Now that being
changes
said,
in
I
college football.
don't want to mislead anybody. I do know
Minus,
the
but one of
basics.
the
Do
biggest
make sure to
changes
match
is the transfer
personnel,
portal.
things along that line.
So let's go.
Be in. Now you can leave, and there is no penalty. So a lot of recruiting, Jesse, on other people's teams that go on throughout a season.
Key addition. It's a team.
I really have to say I'm looking forward to this game in real life. I think it is going to be, I guess, best game of week one. It's strength versus strength. Texas A&M's.
There we go, Notre Dame. Gave him way too much time, though. Good job by the secondary.
Offense versus Notre Dame's defense and the defensive line. Can they expose that young offensive line of Notre Dame? Time will tell.
Oh, sweet feet. Coverage team able to put a stop to that return at the 42-yard line. So the Notre Dame Fighting Irish offense comes out first time they've had the ball today.
I will say this, it does feel like the defense got exposed in a big way. I'm sorry, the offensive line got exposed in a big way in this game. And you'll see what I'm talking about as the game goes along. It's definitely the biggest concern I have going forward in the dynasty, but also in real life.
Look at second down. Man, it just became very predictable for this offense. Nice job creating a loss on first down.
On second down, he'll fire. And the pass is in. This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Grabbed behind the line, it's Collins. He couldn't find anywhere to go, and now it's
The offense was just given no time to do anything.
Why was that Thomas in that greenhouse?
There were some strange things going on with my depth chart in this game I couldn't figure out.
They screw with my depth chart.
They did not screw with my depth chart. I don't know what caused Thomas to be out there instead of Greathouse, but we move on.
Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. Boy, 3 and out last time, Davey. They'd like to be more productive this time around.
Yeah, in the last drive, nothing really clicked. No rhythm, got off the field.
This was a much closer game than it felt like. It was a very rough early part of the game for Notre Dame. I'll say that. And again, you'll see that as it goes on. Felt like nothing I was choosing defensively was right.
Halfway there on first down, it's second and
Felt like I was not getting any pressure on the quarterback.
Let's go, come on.
on the bootleg fake. Got him downfield. Still on his feet at the 45.
And as you see, they were breaking off big play after big play.
And he's brought down after a huge
Not good.
completion. Texas
And I absolutely hate, and I know it's part of football, I'm not actually complaining, I'm just saying I hate when a team goes into the hurry-up offense because you can't set up what you do on defense. But then again, that is the point of the hurry-up offense. I just couldn't figure out whether to go man zone. I'm never sure what type of zone coverage to use. I feel a little lost on defense. At times, I really do feel lost on defense at times.
You know, they pride themselves on being physical at the point of attack, dominating at the line of scrimmage. Nice job there picking up the first down.
They'll keep it on the ground.
And the defense actually had a good stand here. If I recall, I believe we ended up holding them to a field goal.
Come on, defense.
You're going to hear me talking post video and me talking on my headset as I'm playing the game. So,
Yeah, and I'm taking both these downs, and I'm coming downhill. I'm running the football, trying to get this in the end zone. I only got a yard to go. I got to be physical.
There we go. Nice stop, nice stop.
Held to the field goal.
It's 4th down, and they'll try the field goal. And this will be a short one from about
Big play. Oh,
but we didn't hold it to field goal because penalty.
Now, if this is on the defense, the offense will have to decide whether to take the points off the board.
And
Must protect the kicker.
like many times in football, when you give the offense additional plays, what happens next? Touchdown.
penalty gives him a touchdown.
This is why they show up for midnight yell, and they are playing like they practice.
This was not an enjoyable start.
We want to get them going early.
For the kick after that touchdown drive. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he
Definitely was having a hard time finding a groove on offense during the early part of this game. As you see, Rose had a decent run there, but
I just think, David,
running yards were hard to come by.
They got to do something here to get this defense on the field.
You'll notice I was throwing a lot of RPO and wide receiver screens because, quite frankly, I didn't have the time to do much else. There was another decent run by.
There we go.
Playbook, you have run plays that are called run-it runs. You leave the play on no matter what look the defense gives you. That time the defense was blitzing, but they just kept the play on. That is an attitude-type run that you can run into any kind of look, and it paid off for them.
But I was also running into that kind of thing where they would meet me in the backfield. Texas A&M's defensive line is I do question how much changing your shell on defense does confuse the quarterback, or how often you should do it. If anybody has any recommendations, no. Maybe I'm doing too much and thus losing the effectiveness.
Find a way to affect the quarterback on this drive because last drive he had way too much time to throw.
Throws to the wideout. Catch in the middle. It's Muhammad.
Always get picked apart over the middle, but of course I did not realize until I was editing this video that I did not have Jack Kaiser on the field. So
These fans love their team and they love playmaking.
we'll see what happens in week 2 because that depth chart issue has been fixed.
Times are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. As the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
The first
There we go.
When it's a play
And the second quarter felt like a turn. Felt like nothing was going right. Nothing I could do was right.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. Fires to the tight end.
But overall, I don't think the defense played poorly. I think it was more of the offense not being able to get on track. And we kept giving the ball back to Texas A&M. And I don't care how good your defense is, you keep them in the field too much, they're going to
just had no
give up plays.
So someone's going to have to step up and make a play, David, and get this thing going.
Yeah, let's find some juice. Find your guy. Find those plays that you know you can run inside out, forward, backwards.
And I really wish I could get the read option to work more. Because I have a mobile quarterback, I'd love to be able to run with him, but every time I try,
After the first down completion, it's second
Riley Leonard
short.
doesn't go far before he gets stopped. Let's put it that way.
From the gun, the give, looking for room. Yeah, it's a bit of
I'm
a
thinking
surge, and he's right down
perhaps
after picking up 3 to the 26.
I need to fundamentally change the way that I play the game.
Here comes his home
I
crowd
do have
as the
coach
defense
mode
tries to
on,
get off the field on 3rd
mainly
down.
for defensive
He'll
purposes.
do it himself.
Not so much for offense, but
Over him,
I think it's
nowhere to
hurting
go
me
as that
on
3rd down play turned into
offense
a
as much as it may be
disaster.
helping me on
The
defense.
Irish
So I'm
send out
thinking
the
I
punt
probably
unit.
need to turn that
Wouldn't call it a
off.
shank, but I don't think he'll include it on his greatest hits. And this kick will be marked down just inside the 45-yard line. Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready
As
to
you
go
see,
to
I
work.
stay pretty much
They'll
on
have
either
another
cross
opportunity to
or
extend this lead
nils.
after punting last time, David.
I've heard people say it's best to use a linebacker. If anybody has any thoughts, please let me know.
Defense, obviously, they won a few downs that last drive, so we got to put
Interested
them
in
on
the thoughts.
Come on, defense.
and try to show them some pictures they haven't seen yet.
Now they'll line it up from the 44 on 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Quickly out to the
That was a good play by Texas
They
A&M.
on the move down to the 32.
They had my
They
number
pick up
in the
another
first
down.
quarter and in the first
That's why
half.
they got to keep running the
They
football,
really did.
because play action is going to be a big part of this game plan. You
I
got to get this tight end
didn't
over the
feel
middle
like
of the
I
field
knew
first
even
and
knew
give him
what
an
I was doing.
opportunity, because you just saw how dangerous he is after the catch.
And these defensive tackles just eat people. They swallow human beings when you get near them. They're so big, so strong. Those guys, those running backs.
And as you see,
they put 1 minute on a
I am
running
playing
back.
15-minute
He usually
quarters,
falls
running
to the
the
ground just because of
accelerated
their
clock
sheer
down
mass and
to
strength.
18 seconds.
They'll run it from the gun.
I'm also All-American. I am not on Heisman. I see myself up to Heisman.
I think you run that play so you stay out of 3rd and long. 3rd and long is
I want to enjoy the game and not stress myself out.
3rd and medium, hey, I'm good with that. So you run that play to make sure you're set up for a good 3rd down.
Again, I don't feel like the defense played badly,
Zings it complete to the right. Tackle is made, but not intended.
especially
He gets the
considering
first down.
I haven't even gotten a first
Kind of expected
down.
to see this DB up in his receiver's kitchen instead. Nice little zone, and they pick up the first.
Man, offenses are getting so.
Hope the game goes better in real life.
Seeing the holes in the zone, knowing you're in zone, knowing where to sit down, how to make it an easy pitch and catch for the quarterback, and that's what it was on the other shoe.
this was a very tough first quarter for me.
Touchdown, Texas A&M.
As you see, I
I think
got
you
down
love
game
starting the
and
year off with some
pretty much stayed down.
And that's exactly what this offense is doing. They're firing
It was
off
not
some
fun. It was not
defense doing their
enjoyable.
job as well. This team getting out the gates to start the season in great fashion.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team looking for a productive play on 1st down. A quick pass to the left. And with that stop, we are headed to a strong performance so far to be able to build a lead here in the first period as we look
1.6 yards a play. That's not going to get it done.
We'll get this quarter going with a 2nd down play. Handoff to the single running back. And he found plenty of running room down. Now on 1st down from the 30. He wants to throw. A beautifully placed ball to the...
Because we know they've always been able to run the football. And we've seen them in recent years get to the playoffs. They've reached national championship games, but they haven't been able to pull it off. For this program to take the next step, they have to be in the explosive passing game, and I think this guy gives them the opportunity to take the program to the next level.
Trying to make magic with his feet. And the defense makes a big hit.
Well, right there is what I want to be able to do more of with Riley Leonard. I want to make him a mobile quarterback just like he is in practice.
Let's go, come on.
I honestly believe there are games where he will lead the team in rushing.
Let's
The
go.
change, and they'll spot it at the 47.
You wonder now on offense, have they found something in the run game? Finally, it's been tough for them to get the run game going, but they picked up a nice gain on that last one. Let's see if
I
they
just could not get anything going
And
in
the defense
the first quarter, the first half of this game.
knock him down for a loss.
It is suffocating right
The
away.
offensive line is
Just seeing that initial, pulling the trigger, getting to him, get him on the ground, get the tackle from him.
Will do anything with the ball.
Fires to the big fella. And they're able to make the tackle.
And that's a great job.
This is where I really felt like I couldn't do anything with the ball.
Wait for him to come open. Quarterback does a good job.
The offense was giving Riley Leonard no time whatsoever.
Perfect job.
To the ground to try to pick up the first. They get him on the ground, but it's a first down.
And I just love when guys know
The offensive and defensive lines are the
you can
key
tell ran
to
with
football.
purpose, finished
You
through
win
the
and lose
sticks,
games
and
up
got
front.
just enough for the first down.
And a nice job up front,
Solid
too, right?
up front.
Good communication. Everybody knew where they had to go, had on ahead,
Nothing
worked the
else
double teams and get some push.
is going to work because football, more than any other sport, is a time-in game.
Did they change my receiver depth chart? No. Okay.
Trying to convert this second and short.
Riley Leonard, like any other quarterback, needed time to throw the ball. And I truly, truly hope that this young offensive line is going to be able to get him that. Otherwise, he's in for a long year in his first year in Notre Dame.
So here they are just finding an easy completion. It's not a touchdown, but they just want to
Come
get
on,
I will
defense,
say,
make
at
a
this point in
play.
the game, at this point with this drive, I was starting to feel confident. I was starting to feel good for the first time. We were moving the ball. Riley Leonard looked good.
Tell me he held on to that?
He was commanding the offense. And 14-0 didn't seem insurmountable. So it was like, okay, there's hope. I like hope.
Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
Well, you know who's got to love this offense picking up so many first downs? It's their own defense. David, I know you love playing on teams with great defenses.
Give to the back.
Things are starting to slow a little
And
bit.
he'll find enough running room to get it just short of midfield at the 49.
Yeah, this coaching staff, they're getting this offensive line lathered up and into
Riley
it.
Leonard
Now
was
they're
just
letting
getting
them
beat
drive
up
off the ball on
all
first down on these
game.
running plays, and they're getting chunks of yardage.
They'll leave it with him. Still running at the 40. He gets it to the 31-yard line.
And at some point, I have to say, I might have been around this point, I did not realize that Steve Angeli was in the game, but I just turned the ball over on fourth down.
How do you like that
This
first
offensive
down? How do you
line
like that ground
not
game?
helping the
Like,
running
that's
game,
what
not
they
helping the
gotta
passing
work on.
game,
They gotta have
and then Texas A&M's able to make plays like that.
Toughness is when you see that their best teams
I don't know what
compete
I
at a high level.
at a loss.
Nice quick throw there. It's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly.
Notre Dame got a lucky break here,
Throw, and you can
but
tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here.
was I really able to do anything with it?
Oh, he drops it right down the
As
middle
you
of
can
the
see.
field, and he couldn't make the play. Here they come up to the 23-yard line, not thinking field goal, wanting to convert this third and short. They've got just
Not really.
outside the red
I was
zone.
not able to do anything with it.
Chains is at the 21. The Aggies come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Might as well give it to him again. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And a great job by the linebacker. You could tell starting to crowd the line of scrimmage, get up there in the line of scrimmage, see it, diagnose it, get in the backfield, get the running back on the ground for the tackle for the loss.
Looking for a man. It's Wegman. He'll take a shot. And the pass hits. Picked off.
Adon Shula.
Defense gets the ball back for its own.
QB's got to pick and choose their spots when they want to be really aggressive and try to fit balls into the hands. Great job by the DB making a big play.
Defense finally made a play.
They're bringing heat. And he is snowed under.
Good, because they were getting cooked.
The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. Lofts one high and deep. What a snag by the defense.
And of course, I give it right back. Good job.
Sitting back in zone coverage, breaking on the football, and going and getting that INT.
They make the stop, but not before the screen has hit him for a first down and much more. Really good execution by this offense. Texas A&M will snap it in the red zone. Using his legs, it's Moss.
Listen, you got to be able to know what play to call and what hole to go through. Like the line blocks for a certain hole. Good job getting through the hole, getting what was blocked, getting a nice positive gain, making your situation really good on the next down.
As we reach the 2-minute warning, they'll need to try to get a stop to keep this thing from getting out of hand. On second down, just keeps firing. A little screen to the running back. And they knocked him down, but he got past the line to gain.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you throw into running backs, you got to make it easy. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there getting that first.
He's got it down to the 1-yard line, right on the doorstep of Pater. Second and goal for the offense. To the air, it's Wegman. Lets it go to the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Aggie. That dude's really big. How in the world did they lose him?
Because down here he does a lot of blocking and you play a lot of man coverage in the red zone. And what do? Peek in the backfield.
Can't do anything offensively.
On the run from inside his own 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be concerned. If we're a little bit down, listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
Getting some heat. He is brought down, but man, what a job to find some running room and move the chains. There's a timeout called as this offense tries to find a way to draw a little closer. They'll throw it on first down. Got it in the middle, it's Evans.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. And he's brought down, but the defender got a face full of stiff arm before he picked up that first down. One snap coming before they head to the locker room. They'll throw it on first down. Can't find a receiver, and down goes the quarterback.
Not been a good first half. Got to do better.
Texas A&M ready to kick it away to get the third quarter started. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Here come the Irish, back on offense. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second half. That's the only way you can look at this if you're on offense. Things did not go your way there in the first half. It starts with one play. To get our confidence going, we just got to get something going early here on this drive.
One play.
There you go. Big screenplay. Let's go.
More aggressive on fourth downs because obviously I've built a deficit. My defense has got to make some plays for me too.
This running back is so dangerous. He's going to hurt you running the ball, but they find creative ways to get him the ball in the passing game as well. Beautiful job setting up the screen. He was acting as if he was blocking, let the defender run right by him, and then he made magic happen after he had the ball in his hands.
And when you play defensive end, it's all about getting off the football. You can tell, gets off the football really fast, gets in the backfield, gets the running back before he knows what hit him. What a play by the defensive end.
Scanning the field, it's Leonard. He looks that one in nicely. Excellent job working through the air there, finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down. The Irish have always been built on the run, but timely completions are important, like the great Tom Clements back in the day or John Hewart.
Got to be clutch, right? Got to be balanced and got to find those moments where you can thrive. It's always just...
Give me 1 second.
Notre Dame, where it's been built around the run game and it's built around physicality, but they got to get that element of balance to really take off and get to that next level.
Trying to get a rhythm in the passing game, now on second down. Grabbed in the backfield, it's Collins. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. Using him out of the slot, he has just been unstoppable.
And I love putting dynamic athletes in the slot that I can move around, that I can put in motion, that I can make him go in or out. I can put him off the ball so you can't get hands on him, and they've really featured this guy today.
And he gets it out past the sticks, and Notre Dame will have a first down.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down mark.
How about this backer in pass coverage and bringing the big hit stick with him, too?
I'll tell you, when you've got a tight end like this, it makes it a lot easier calling pass plays on first down, even if the defense is in zone coverage. He did a really good job there, working his leverage, finding the soft spot, and making it an easy completion.
He steps out of bounds, but he's got enough for a first down.
And I love the idea of getting this guy screen throws because of his ability after the catch. So nice job getting downfield, getting a hat-on-hat, and giving him a tunnel to run through.
In search of their first touchdown of the game, they are on the move with a 1st and 10. Snagged in the middle, it's Mitchell.
And that's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Operating in the red zone here on second down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a 1st and goal. Looking to move the chains, they throw it complete to the left. So close to that end zone, he can almost taste it, but it'll be 1st and goal for this offense. Defense is backed up. Shadow of the goalpost trying to defend their own end zone. Touch pass on the jet sweep.
Touchdown, Notre Dame. There we go.
And they'll put that scoreboard operator to work and put 6 on the board. Sometimes we ask coaches about halftime.
Here comes the comeback.
Blah, 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 blah. I mean, sometimes they make some good ones.
Sometimes that blah, 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 blah actually works, but it's working now, but it might be too little too late. At least you got the party started.
Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Texas A&M has it back on the offense, ready to go to work. After standing on the sideline and watching that long touchdown drive, they really need to put something together to give their defense a
Here we go.
And that's a real thing, man. Like, you played a lot of plays, you get worn out, you need a chance to go decompress on the sideline, get some oxygen. Palmer, now it's on this offense.
Yeah, this is the definition of complementary football because it's a two-pronged problem. You've got to score points and answer, but you've also got to take your time and give your defense an opportunity to get their win.
Dropping back, it's Wegman. Pressure coming. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be third down.
Well, this quarterback's already taken a couple shots from the pocket. There's another one right there that affected his accuracy on that throw.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on third and long. And
There we go.
sacked at the 6-yard line.
I think going into halftime trailing,
Big stand defense.
they were going to have to start making plays here in the second half. And early in the third quarter here on this drive, they get a sack. That is really good news for this defense.
Boy, that seemed to be prime return territory, but instead he'll set the offense up with great field position. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got a touchdown last time. Can they back it up here?
Well, and it's amazing in a football game how sometimes they'll surprise you with what you do. Once you get settled, you realize what's going on. Now, I'm comfortable with it. Jesse, this offense looked comfortable on its last drive.
They sure did. It looked like they started to find some momentum. So now it's on this defense to stop that, all right? You're a little bit upset based on what just happened the previous drive. You've got to go up again.
Here we go, Faison. There we go.
And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. They've moved to the 16. It's 1st and 10. The give to the single back. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe. 2nd and 7. Going to work in the red zone. They can pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Looking to pass. It's Leonard. A strong tackle and wrap up from the junior.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now.
And the heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. Now on 4th down, they'll try to come away with 3. And the holder will put it down on the left hash, a 34-yard attempt coming. He got it. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, let's recap that ranked-on-ranked matchup that has just gone final. Georgia somehow, some way, found an edge between the hedges and picked up a much-needed victory. It wasn't a masterpiece, but let's be honest, it wasn't a loss either. Going to be interesting to see what the fallout from this one is for one ranked team, while the other figures to get a better ranked team.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Second and 10 after the previous play. He's looking to throw. Caught behind the line. It's Muhammad. And they pick up
There we go.
a few on that completion.
In offenses nowadays, they're really just counting numbers. How many guys do you have out wide? How many guys do I have out wide? If I have enough guys to block your guys, boom, it's just built into the offense. Pitch, catch, let me get a few yards.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. And it's incomplete on 3rd down.
It's so nice when you know it's 3rd and long.
Let's go, defense.
You worked on it all week. Get your feet set at the sticks. Understand that quarterback's got to be rushed. Get him off of his spot. Nice execution by this defense.
And the punt team gets down there and
Nice wrap up,
return man on the
I have to
ground.
say.
Here come the Irish back on offense. They're going to have to be more aggressive in this drive. You can't expect to win this one, David, kicking field goals.
No, especially when you're trailing. You got to have a little more urgency and maybe a little more aggressiveness, Jesse. And field goals are not going to get it done down the stretch.
Yeah, you're going to have to take some shots, no doubt. Bottom line, when plays present themselves, you've just simply got to make them.
And his first throw here is incomplete.
Zone coverage that time, and the cornerback, a nice job with his eyes. He's watching the quarterback. He sees the ball thrown, so he knows exactly when to break on it. He's able to break it up for an incompletion.
A strike downfield. Defense needs to regroup as he gets it down to the 26.
Well, look, that wasn't a touchdown. But that
Why is Angeli in the game?
this offense, they needed some
Oh, good
momentum.
Lord.
They needed to find a rhythm, and what better way than converting on third down. Awesome job by the quarterback getting first production.
Notre Dame ready to go with another first down. Boy, give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. We saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Here comes the rush, and they've got him wrapped up at the 28.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
And this offense can ill afford to come up empty on this drive, already trailing by multiple possessions. Caught over the middle. It's Collins. They make the stop, but the sweet rolling catch is plenty to give them a first down.
Let's go. Come on.
What a great job by that quarterback, finding his open receiver on third down. You know, guys, one of the most telling stats at the end of the game is third down conversion percentage. If you're a great third down team, it's invaluable to your offensive success, and that's why teams drill third down so much in practice.
And he didn't get a big gain. You want to call that play and probably want to get more yards, but you could tell that was super close from seriously busting loose. Nice job running the screen, getting the ball to your...
And the quarterback is knocked down back at the 13. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. And the pressure gets to him again. Another
Damn it.
sack. And here comes the field goal unit for the 2nd time tonight. No good. After the missed field goal.
I'm going to lose this game. I can feel it after that.
Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
No, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
Texas A&M has the lead at the end of the quarter. 3 quarters are in the books. Time becomes a factor both in trying to hold the lead or cut into it as we take a look at the stats.
Let's have to run the ball.
Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. We'll start the quarter offense, about to snap it on 2nd down. Wants to throw. It's Wegman. Unloads to the wideout. And here's the pick. And oh, did they leave that right?
There's the big play.
And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
All right, sense of urgency now has to go through the roof for this team. They needed their defense to come up with that turnover right there. So if you're on offense, you got to get these plays called. You got to get aggressive, take some shots, because you can now go and win this game.
Finds his target down the middle. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that first down. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. He's got his man.
Go, Great House.
He was working his way toward that goal line. They'll stop him at the 2 after the big play up top.
And a throw to the slot receiver, guys, is putting the ball out in front. The location of the throw is what helped that guy get extra yards after the catch.
Trying to power it in. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, or whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
Unleashes to the end zone. That pass intercepted.
Really?
He's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back to its own.
It doesn't get any better for your defense. You know exactly the situation in the fourth quarter. Everything in your favor. Don't let them make big plays. How about you make a big play? Nice job getting the interception. It's not icing on the cake yet. It's getting pretty close.
Got to be smart, patient, great vision. Uses all of that to get to the 29.
They've got a lead here in the fourth quarter, and there's certainly still plenty of football to go, but this is where you'd love to control the flow of the game, right? You want to dictate everything to the defense, and you do that by running the football. That was a really nice run. This offensive line is firing off late. Looks like they're getting stronger as the game goes on, and that is a good sign for the offense.
You don't always have to run the sexy plays, right? It doesn't have to always be up-tempo and fast and spread and doing all this stuff. Sometimes you just lower your shoulder. Sometimes you just run powerfully. You get the first down, and that's all that matters.
The give to the back.
At this point of the game, the offense has the lead. The offensive coordinator knows they want to keep running the football, so he's going back. He's looking at his playlist, and he's saying, which runs work the best for me in this game? What can I lean on right here to make sure we win this one?
Feeling some heat. And the quarterback is snowed under.
And how about the defense getting home with the pass rush? Playing man coverage in the back end. You need to win up front. Those guys got to get to the quarterback. Do a great job rushing the passer. I can play man when I got a pass rush like that.
Third down conversion's always a huge stat, and they've got a 3rd and long from the 27. Dropping back, it's Wegman. Get it out on the screen. They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the marker, but it'll be 4th down. Texas A&M will have to boot it away. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. Yet another punt on the way. Got to make sure that hamstring stays loose. He's been busy. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return.
Come on, Notre Dame.
For the offense. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving. To the air on 1st down. And that pressure just engulfed him. A sack.
7 sacks. 7 sacks.
7 sack on defense. This offense cannot protect their QB. It doesn't matter if the defense is blitzing or if they're just winning one-on-one. 7 sacks. That's just ridiculous.
Man, that's a big missed opportunity for the running back. I'm trying to find ways to feature this guy and get him the football in space and not just hand it to him all the time. And tell you what, I'm a lot less likely to find those plays.
And there was nowhere to go for this quarterback.
8 sacks.
Notre Dame lining up to punt it away. 3 and out. They got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He'll call for the fair catch here. Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmakers, Reese. I think it's finding the guys that have been working for you.
And they're on him immediately. Down goes the quarterback.
I think if you're the head coach here, it's a bit of a mixed reaction to your passing attack so far in this game. You put up a bunch of yards throwing the football, you've lit up the scoreboard, but you've also given up 4 sacks. Pass protection has been a problem so far in this game.
A big play for the defense with the 1st down sack. Now, advantage D as the offense comes up on 2nd down. Just had to get rid of that one. Good job to avoid the loss. They've made third down offense a key. It'll be tested on 3rd and long from the 28. Looking to throw, it's Wegman.
There we go.
Rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20. The Aggies send out the punt team to kick it away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the O. Here come the Irish back on offense. Finds space on the right. Gets it all the way down to the 39-yard line. It'll be a first down.
And everything's going to have to be downfield. That's a nice start to this drive, but they're going to need to score, get the ball back quickly, and score again.
Makes the grab on the left. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down. And now a fresh set of downs for this offense. Comes out throwing on first down. Looking to the big tight end. He's got an open man. They're able to keep him out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 2 after the big play in the passing game. First and goal and a touchdown really gives them momentum. And the ball is out. Who's going to get it? Now the offense looks as if they fell on the fumble, and they'll keep the ball. So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. Looking to throw on second down. Crisp execution in the passing game, and they've got it down to the 3. And they'll come to the line and try to draw a little bit closer on 3rd and goal. From the gun, wants to pass.
Touchdown, Great House.
And the comeback is on. They got the score they needed, but this isn't over.
No, don't call it a comeback yet. The first part, step 1 accomplished. But this offense obviously still has work to do. But the defense has to go out and get a stop and get him the ball back.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Texas A&M has it back, and we say howdy to the Aggie offense again. They still have the lead here, Jesse, but this would be a good time to put together a drive.
You're right, Reese. You can't rest easy right now. You just watch the opponent drive down the field to score a touchdown of their own, so you've got to answer that here.
It's complete. A huge pickup. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before it's finally stopped. Texas A&M going quickly. Looking for a man. It's Wegman. Just a short pass to the tight end. And he's able to shed 1 tackle and pick up pretty good yards.
Come on, defense.
And he was able to break 1 tackle, Jesse, and almost got away from another.
And this secondary, this defense, they better pack a lunch. When this guy has the football, you've got to get bodies to him. And you better wrap up those legs and hold on tight. This dude's hard to tackle.
And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
You know, as a quarterback, when you're doing this zone read play, you got to read that defensive end. If he crashes down hard inside to take the running back away, right away you know now you're keeping the football. Nice job by the quarterback.
The give as they work on that clock. That'll be enough for the first down as they mark it down at the 31-yard line.
I don't need it to be pretty. I just need my inches. Third down in inches.
Come on, defense.
Getting the first down. Always fall forward. Play physical. Don't get east and west. Stay north and south. Nice job by the running back.
Fires deep toward the end zone. And he's got it.
What a play.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. We're taking shots. We need to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get him. Just
I certainly hope real life goes better than this.
right there for 6 points.
Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Notre Dame has the ball and ready to get moving.
I don't feel like the defense played all that bad considering
Finds a man on the right.
I held them scoreless from
Down immediately, but
the first quarter to the fourth quarter.
the chains.
going to have to be down the field. So I like the idea in this 2-minute drive, throwing it.
And the pressure gets to him. Down goes the quarterback. After the big first down sack for the D, it's
I don't like the fact that I gave up 9 sacks.
left in this one, and time is running short if they want to find a way to pull this one out. Fires to the middle. Oh, did he find a hole in the defense? And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle is finally made. Notre Dame coming to the line with another first down. He's looking to throw it.
11 sacks.
And he'll be knocked down at the 40. That offense having to deal with the last thing you want on first down, giving up a sack as they come up to the line on second down. It's caught downfield. And he almost ran away from everybody on that one. A huge pickup on that play. Now down to the 12-yard line. It's first down. He's right on target. Couldn't quite nudge it in. Not sure you could get much closer, but it'll be first and goal. This offense in scoring position with a fresh set of downs. Fires to the end zone. And it's incomplete as he was trying to finish the drive with a score. Can the defense stop them again on second and goal? Back to pass. It's Leonard. He wants it all. Touchdown, Fighting Irish. You thought they were done. They're not. They're back, baby. And it's up and good as they draw just a touch closer. They got one of the touchdowns they needed, and they'll try to get the ball back right now with the onside kick. They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football. Texas A&M has it back in the offense, ready to go to work. One possession game, getting late, first order of business, just take care of the football.
So they call this situation 4-minute offense, where you're trying to run the football and throw high percentage passes to maintain possession and bleed the clock. This is a very difficult point of the game to execute at a high level.
Yeah, and listen, what you understand as an offense is if I get 1 or 2 first downs, this ball game's over. And that's your sole objective. Not scoring, take care of the football, get a few first downs, walk out with the game.
He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Last 2 runs got a big fat nothing. Let's see if they try to go up top on 3rd and 10. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. 4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. They've got to move quickly here. Still a chance, but they've got to force the ball down the field. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Coming after it. Keeps looking downfield. Slithers into space. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down.
When you're trailing in the 4th quarter, it's not just the other team, right? You're fighting against that clock. Nice heads-up play by the QB. He does a great job scrambling.
And he can't get it off. Taken down. What a huge play this late in the game. No time to waste here. They've got to get set and pick up chunk yardage. He wants a big play here late.
Nope.
And he's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been up to speed. His 3rd interception. Touchdown, Aggies. The defense puts 6 on the board with a big-time interception return. I'm sure they don't like the score, but they haven't done anything about it, so they're just going to have to eat it right now with the way they're getting smacked.
Just take it, right? I mean, you'd like to say, hey, take a knee, run the clock out. You don't have to run the score. I can do something about it, right? All my guys in there still have to fight until the final whistle.
Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Pocket starts to collapse.
12 sacks.
Was too much. They get him at the 15. bitterly disappointing start to the season as they can't come up with a W and open 0-1.
And there's still so much.
And that'll be that game. Again, certainly hope real life goes better than that. If the offensive line gives up 12 sacks, Riley Leonard might die. See you all in episode 2.